welcome back. And we're moving into our second conversation for today as we get the details about BelTrade's Talent Fair. We have with us on set Lianne Torres, who is the Investment Associate for BelizeINVEST in BelTrade, and we have Hero Balani, who is the Manager at BelizeINVEST at BelTrade. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Marlene.
So this is a very interesting concept, and I already asked the information during the break, and you've clarified. So we'll start there, right? So here, when we talk about talent, we're talking about singing and dancing and all the other fun stuff. But when you talk about talent, it's something different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So as you know, well, BelTrade, we work with investment, we work with small business, we work with exporters and training.
Yeah.
And when we talk about talent, we think about the singing and the dancing and the music as well, right? But of course, talent, when an investor wants to assess a market, they look at our talent pool.
Okay.
And they want to better understand the skill sets that people have for being employable or employed in a sense. And so one of the key critical success factors for investments, as you know, both foreign direct investment and local investments, which Lianne and I both work with, is that they look for that talent, the talent in an economy, in a country. And so what BelTrade is doing through its first ever talent fair in 2017 is to get a better sense of the talent pool that we have.
Yeah.
You have different surveys that are done, different reports from, the Ministry of Education, etc. But we want to understand skill sets are not just, based on those that are enrolled or in high school or junior college, but it's also those that have been trained in certain areas.
Yeah.
And so we want to kind of capture that. That's essentially the objective.
Yeah. So it is more formal skills.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Now, how are you proposing to be able to get this information?
Well, what we have is a registration process.
Yes.
And so you will see on the screen there that it says August 17th to 19th.
Yeah.
So it is Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of this week. And anyone 16 years or older can come into the IT Vet campus at the BTech building, where we will be registering participants in. We're working with a consulting firm to put together a market demographic. Now we're starting with Belize City, but we will then move into the other districts to kind of create these reports. Now the questions that it asks really is some basic contact information.
Yeah.
It asks you about your educational background. It asks you what work experience do you have and what industry do you more see yourself working in. So if it's tourism, is it the services sector, is it agribusiness, is it something in a different field that perhaps we're not even targeting investments in. And so it's really to create that registry of people that want to work in different fields. So even if you are employed and you may not necessarily be employed in the field that you would like, you can come in, register in the talent fair, and get updates on opportunities that come up, right?
And I guess that's the greatest incentive, because I was going to say, what will prompt someone to go to IT Vet and go through this process? But if an opportunity comes up where they can be employed, they would be able to get that call from you guys, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's precisely what we encounter from time to time. When we engage to investors, well, we have been more reactive, I'd say, and with this we're being more proactive. Proactive in that we're not just giving them, well, hey, you can go this through this recruitment process, you can advertise here and there, but it's more in, this is a database of people that we have, these are the skills, how many do you need? And it's important because sometimes the time frame that they have, it's so tight. They tell you, well, I need 300 people in 3 months or 400 people in a month. So what are we going to do? So it's more in being proactive, I'd say.
Yeah.
Correct.
And I'd imagine in a situation like that, you don't necessarily have a pool of persons you can contact instantaneously.
Exactly, exactly. Now, what I will say is that, based on our outreach activities these past few weeks on the talent fair, the high schools and the junior colleges have been very, very supportive in it, in that they want to help their graduates have that bridge to the investments that we work with. And so remember that we try to facilitate investments, but they all will have requirements for talent. It makes our market and it makes Belize more attractive. At the end of the day, you know, our talent, our human resource is what sells the country.
Yeah.
You can talk about infrastructure, you can talk about investment incentives, you can talk about anything else, but fundamentally at the core, it is the people of Belize that really sell the country for investments, right?
Now, there is a challenge, I would imagine, in helping people identify their talents. If we were to use the example of call centers, for example, no one would have thought, you know, being friendly and speaking English with a good American accent would make you more marketable. And I would have never thought of going to register that as my talent either. So what would you say to people as to how you can identify the skill sets that you do have for when you go in for the talent fair?
Sure. Well, I would say start at the baseline.
Yeah.
I mean, the questions that the registration process will ask you are, okay, what was your last educational background? Did you graduate high school? Did you graduate even up to primary school or even sixth form or junior college? No, start there. And if that is not there, what trainings have you attended?
Yeah.
Because I think that there are multiple trainings that are offered in Belize now through different programs, like even through our Small Business Development Center, through our Training and Employment Center. So have you done maybe a training in QuickBooks? Have you done a training in website development?
Yeah.
Have you done, you know, any types of trainings in customer service or sales, etc.? So those, they are basically your ammunition in a sense when you go into that job interview. And that's what we would encourage, not to just look at your degree. Your degree may be in business or in science or, you know, whatever field you're studying, but your skill sets are wider than that. And that's what we need people to really come to the table with. Right?
And if we took a look at the flyer, there it has that it requests for a resume, but at times, you know, people might not have their resume readily prepared. So what we've brainstormed and through our training center, the Belize Training and Employment Center, is we have 2 of our officers who will be assisting people, you know, who want to come in, take a look at the resume. If they have a draft or if they want to start one, we provide with that service too. You know, just to assist them further.
So what is the basic requirement for a person to come in and register for the talent fair?
Sure. It's 16 years or older and basic computer skills. That's it. And that's it. Yeah.
And also, when they come in, they need to bring an identification card again, just to get their information and basically.
The idea is really to validate age more than anything else, and to register their formal name and everything into the system. Right. So.
Do they have to be English speakers?
What we're thinking is that it's good to be English speakers as our primary language here in Belize, but it's also a plus if you're a bilingual person, if you can speak English and Spanish.
That's a skill set right there.
Yes,
exactly.
it is.
Exactly.
Now, so we spoke about the minimum requirements. Are you also looking for highly skilled persons to come in and register as well?
Yes. Of course. Yes. Remember that when an investor is coming to Belize, a large-scale project, at times they're trying to also look for a country manager or a country representative to really lead that project.
Yeah.
And we've had certain cases where, you know, they would approach BelTrade and say, hey, I am trying to fill these requirements and I'm advertising online on maybe Job Vacancy Belize on Facebook or, you know, other websites through different HR firms, but I'm not getting any good hits.
Yeah.
And so, yes, the talent fair is open, which is why it's once you're 16 years or older, but we're encouraging that not only the fresh, you know, graduate pool come out, but anyone that really wants to come in and register with us, because at the end of the day, we are working towards marrying the two. The skill sets that we have in Belize with the demands of investments. Right?
It makes sense. I mean, if you're coming in with a new investment, you'll need to fill all positions or most of your positions, including your upper level management.
Exactly.
So it's for the job hungry, those who are looking, and it's for people who have an established career but are keeping their options open.
Exactly.
Indeed.
Okay.
So it's basically, you know, not having people think, well, it's only for these type of positions or just a certain type of job, but it's open. Like Hira mentioned, we get so many options that it's just a wide variety.
Now, I guess the question is, how often are you in the position where you're looking for persons that may be skilled for a particular job? In other words, will I go there and register and never hear back from you for 2 years, 3 years? Will it be worth my effort?
Yeah. It will be worth your effort in two ways. One way is that we continuously get investment inquiries. Right now, in the pipeline, we have both foreign and local investments that exceed 1.5 billion based on our last assessment. And these are across the different sectors of investment. Now, of course, you will get updates on those opportunities that come up, but also on training opportunities that we have at BelTrade, which through our Training and Employment Center. So at the end of the day, it's a win-win, because if you hear back and you feel like, okay, I see these vacancies coming out, but I'm not able to fill them. Well, what do I need to do personally to then be able to fill them? And so that's where we can also assist. So it's actually looking at both sides of the coin. Right?
Yeah. So you said you've been doing some sensitization so far. What has the feedback been like?
Well, the feedback has been very positive. What we've been doing is we've taken certain days and, going out there, walking through schools, requesting meetings with various principals. And I'd say that it has been very positive in that some of them, well, if you need assistance from our teachers or from us, we can always assist. Also, what we have been doing is trying to get the contact information for people to, whether it's current people going to Fort Farm or past graduates, so that we can proactively contact them or send them an email updating them of this talent fair. In addition, we have participated in also other various activities such as radio talk shows and just going out there really.
Now, I think you mentioned something very important, that there are a lot of training opportunities in Belize, some for free and some at low cost. What would you say to persons perhaps who have been struggling to find a job or to move from their current employment about how to make themselves more marketable? Like, how does one find out what the latest training is at BelTrade and how they can benefit? Maybe I never had an interest in accounting and QuickBooks doesn't sound like something I'll ever need. But sometimes having these additional skills help to make you more marketable. Definitely.
No, the best way, of course, is to stay tuned, be connected. And through the talent fair, that is our hope, that we can connect better with the talent pool that we have in Belize. But not only that, you can find out about updates through our Facebook page, through our website. Just go on Facebook, type in BelTrade, and you'll get updates on the different opportunities that we offer. But you're right that there are different training opportunities that come up, and you may feel, well, one may fit better and the other may not, but it's all about making yourself more marketable and always being prepared. Now, one way that you mentioned about incentives to attend the talent fair, and I think there are really two, but one of them is that we're offering 2 VIP tickets to everyone who registers. Well, again, that there will be a raffle at the end. As you know, it's soca season, right?
Ooh. So sounds like concert tickets.
Exactly. So we have we threw in there that we'll have 2 tickets to Machel Montano in September, and those are VIP tickets.
And you get a raffle entry just by going and registering.
Exactly. So you'll see that there, that you can win that, and the drawing date will be the Monday after the talent fair. Now the other incentive
which is next Monday.
Next Monday. Exactly. So the other incentive that we're looking at is an employment scavenger hunt. Now I'm not gonna say much about that, but we will be at KTV this evening. And there will be a little surprise there. Of course, an opportunity to win a beautiful gift basket with Belizean products. As you know, we're all for Belize. Buy Belize, you'll build the economy. And so another incentive is that it's an employment scavenger hunt, and that's all I'm going to say for now.
So people who are in the audience at KTV tonight will be able to win this prize. They just have to be there, nothing else. They don't have to bring the resume or the ID or anything.
No, nothing.
Okay, that's exciting. Now, and of course, this is all in a way. This is all in an attempt to promote the talent fair that is coming up. And it must be done in person. You can't do it online.
No, it must. That is a requirement. It must be done in person. And the reason being is that it's going to be from 8 to 5, meaning that it's not the entire day, but you can come in for a quick 5-minute, 10-minute interview. What the interview will assist us, you know, is in, you know, just getting to know you for that 5 minute, you know. If you don't know your skill set at that moment, with the questions that we ask you, we'll be able to better gauge it, so that when we do the report, well, we can tell, you know, this is more or less what we saw. So it's more, it's better to have that face-to-face interaction.
Help you discover skills you probably didn't know you had.
Probably didn't know, indeed.
Okay.
And now, our hope is, Marlene, that thereafter we can move the process online, of course. But in everything, when you start off, you want to make sure you have that engagement, really understand the market and the talent that we have. So, like Lianne mentioned, the face-to-face interaction in this scenario is critical to us. So,
will also, for persons who are not from Belize, to be able to take advantage of it, will you be perhaps hosting a similar event in other parts of the country? Definitely.
And so the reason we're starting off with Belize City is that right now there is a huge demand for investments in the area of Belize City, especially the rural areas in the north as well as in the west. So we encourage that anyone that has a time to come out, even there's a Saturday, it's open on the Saturday as well. Now, of course, as well as the Keys, as you know, tourism is big. And so anyone that wants to come in, hear about opportunities, all you have to do is register. And like Lianne said, it takes about 10 to 15 minutes per person. So.
And what do you find to be the skill set that is regularly sought after, that you have a challenge filling?
I'd say, from my point of view and the interactions that I've had, it's been more from the value added standpoint, I'd say. And when I mean value added, it's we have a lot of customer service and basic tier, you know, people providing in the hospitality sector. But now when I mean value added is that at times we have a great demand in IT programmers, IT software developers, persons in accounting, you know, and also legal people that do legal works. And so basically we have a great demand in, you know, value-added services. So as we continue mentioning earlier, it's not limited to just a specific pool, but it's for everyone. It doesn't matter if you're high school graduate, tertiary graduate, it doesn't really matter.
And it's even good for people who are self-employed. If I'm doing IT at home, I can still register and be able to get some jobs through you guys.
Exactly. And the way it will work is that when an investor comes in and asks us for an inquiry, we can then use a database to filter based on skill sets. So they may tell us, well, I need someone that is skilled in finance and accounting to handle my bookwork. You know, or I need someone that can do IT for me. And then we can filter and say, well, here you go. Here are the people that have registered in our last talent fair. And then we hope to host even more. But again, the idea is to really bridge them and connect them, make things easier for people to invest in Belize. But ultimately, though, I must say that it all stems back to encouraging Belizean employment. Oftentimes you will hear that, you know, foreign investors may come in and say, well, you know, you don't have the talent that I need for my business venture. But we say, no, actually we do have the talent. It's just finding out about it and letting you know about it.
And this is essentially your connection to that particular, to the talent that does exist in Belize.
Exactly.
So any person over 16, basic computer skills, can come in. If you are already established in your career, you can still register. And if you are looking for an entry-level job, you can still register as well.
That's right.
So you never know the opportunities that will come up.
Correct.
Okay. Go ahead.
And on those dates, so it's going to be at the IT Vet compound, BTech, and you're going to see the tents out there. We have flyers, the banners there, so we'll be there to assist and facilitate on that day.
How much time would you tell someone if they want to get off from work and go, you know, how much time should they allot for the process?
I'd say about 10 to 15 minutes, maybe the maximum 20 minutes. But it's, we're trying to do it very quick, so we're trying to have a number of officers on that day do the registration quickly, you know, because we understand everyone has a busy day, so it's just to being more facilitative, I say.
Fantastic. Easy process. You're in the system, and then you never know the opportunities that will come up.
Exactly.
All right. 17th, 18th, and 19th.
Yes.
8 to 5 at the IT Vet compound. And you must bring an ID, your resume if you have it.
Yes.
What else do we have to bring?
That's
it.
16 years
old.
And just once you bring yourself,
and honest answers.
Once you're 16 years or older, we'll ask you a few questions, get you in the system, keep you posted on opportunities. There is also an email if you need some more details or you'd like help to prepare before. It's talentfair@BelizeINVest.org.bz. Okay. So you can contact either of our offices at BelTrade, and we hope to see everyone out there.
Okay, so definitely something people should take advantage of. They never know. I always say that you know, you have to be ready for opportunities when they come your way. What did they say? Luck is when opportunity meets preparedness.
Exactly.
Now, you also have your scavenger hunt tonight. We can't forget to mention that, right? So KTV The Remix, we get very excited about it here. And you guys are on board this week for a scavenger hunt. Now, for somebody who's never participated in a scavenger hunt, they don't know what to expect. So tell me, you don't have to tell me what's going to happen, but give me an example of something similar.
Well, an example or a hint is to always be prepared. So essentially what you need to do is remember that when you never know when you're going to meet that next employer. And sometimes they could be walking down the street, you can be on the other side, you know, you guys could be in the same room, and you'd want to be able to sell yourself. So that's all I'm going to say. Okay.
And there is a fantastic prize associated with this. We'll be looking at the show live, where people will be there, and they can be eligible as well. Thank you guys so much for stopping in, and we really hope that we have been able to encourage more people to come out to the talent fair Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And it simply is a registration process. Get your name and your skill sets recorded, and when you fit the opening for an opportunity, they'll give you a call, right? Definitely. So thank you once again. We're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll be talking about back to school tips for the kids.